Dr. Nicole Sapphire, a Surgeon General position that is opened in his administration for that post. On social media, the president said that she has spent her entire career working with patients who are battling cancer. She was also a longtime Fox News contributor. This is President Trump's third nominee for the Surgeon General position in his second term. He pulled his previous pick for Surgeon General, Dr. Cassie Means, after her nomination was stalled on Capitol Hill. Means also has faced questions over her stance on vaccines.
Straight ahead on NonStop Local at 4, a man shot and killed on the South Hill of Spokane this morning. Detectives now going door to door collecting surveillance footage. Our Noah Bolter standing by live, tracking the latest in the investigation and talking with neighbors.
And the Senate amendment is agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Following a House vote, President Trump signs a bill to fund much of the Department of Homeland Security, but not its immigration enforcement operations. What's at stake for airports across the country?
It is what it is. Prices suck.
Gas prices hit record highs in Washington state. How commuters are coping with the financial strain at the pump.
And I'm tracking the nonstop sunshine across the inland Northwest, along with warming temperatures through this weekend. Your Nonstop Local at 4 p.m. starts now.
Corey Howard and Leslie Lowe, bringing you the content that connects our community. You're watching Nonstop Local News at 4.
In Spokane, one man is dead, another man detained after a shooting this morning on the South Hill. That's according to the Spokane Police Department, who blocked off 33rd between Arthur and Grand for a good portion of the day during their investigation. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on Nonstop Local at 4. I'm Corey Howard. Nonstop Local's Noah Bolter spent the morning speaking with neighbors there in that neighborhood. He joins us live now from the scene. Noah, where does this investigation stand, and what are you hearing from those neighbors you talked to?
Well, Corey, right now the scene very active behind me. It's been changing in the last few moments. You'll see right now, if you take a look at the middle of the street, it looks empty except for the evidence truck just on the other side of that tape. Well, just moments ago that changed. There were evidence markers, green and yellow, that the forensics team just walked through and picked up literally in the last few minutes. Now, Spokane Police Department says the initial call came in reporting a shooting around 8:46 this morning. Neighbors say the house where the shooting happened currently being rented by some folks newer to the neighborhood. We watched as detectives have gone door knocking, looking for footage of the shooting or involved parties. I spoke with some neighbors who handed over dash cam footage to law enforcement. They tell me police were interested in a truck they caught on video. Another neighbor who has lived here her whole life says this neighborhood is not what it once was.
When I was little, I was probably 10 years old, running around at all hours and no problem at all. There was groups of kids, it was fine, it was absolutely fine, and now I'm the one that triple locks my door at night, and that's ridiculous. It's supposed to be a community. Let's be a community.
Well, Corey, right now we still have many unanswered questions. We've reached out to the Spokane Police Department with questions about the victim, with questions about if there's any relationship between the victim and the person who the SPD has currently detained, and we're wondering if that person detained has been arrested. We have not got an update right now. As far as we know, according to law enforcement, that person still just detained at this time. But Corey, we are going to continue to track the story, and as we learn more, of course, we'll make it known. Live in Spokane, Noah Bolter, Nonstop Local.
And some breaking news now. 5 people are in the hospital after a reported stabbing at Foss High School in Tacoma. This according to Fox 13 over there. Tacoma Fire and Police said they responded to reports of a fight at the school just before 1:40 this afternoon. Firefighters found 4 students and a security guard injured and took them to local hospitals there. Police said the suspect, also a student, was taken into custody and was also taken to a hospital. 2 people were killed this morning in a crash at the Lewis Street exit on Highway 395 near the Blue Bridge in Pasco. Washington State Patrol and Pasco Police are at the scene of that crash, which happened just before noon at around 11:30 this morning. It is unclear how many vehicles were exactly involved, but police have blocked the Lewis Street exit near Road 28, and they are asking the public to avoid that area. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. But if you see breaking news in your neighborhood, you can scan the QR code there on your screen. You can submit a tip on our news tips page. If you scan that code, you can bookmark that page. You can also submit through our website, that's nonstoplocal.com, our app at NonStop Local, or by emailing us at q6news@khq.com. We're taking a live look at the White House as President Trump just signed a bill to fund much of the Department of Homeland Security, but not its immigration enforcement operations. It ends the longest agency shutdown in history and avoids another round of airport disruptions.
This is a historic budget, as you said, Mr. Chairman. This is a fiscally responsible budget, and this is a warfighting budget.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth clashed with Democratic lawmakers in Congress for a second day. The congressional hearing centering on President Donald Trump's 2027 military budget proposal. Hegseth also defended the decision to go to war with Iran and rejected claims that the administration lacked evidence of an imminent threat. The Senate continues to debate the proposed $1.5 trillion defense budget and the future of U.S. involvement in the region. Meanwhile, the average price of gas in Washington State hit a new record high this morning. The average is now $5.57 a gallon. That's 2 cents higher than the previous high that was set back in June of 2022. This is a map from AAA showing gas prices across the country. Those states you see in red are paying anywhere from $4.46 to more than $6 a gallon. And of course, as you see there, that includes Washington. NonStop Local's Jared Cottingham talked with drivers about these high prices earlier today.
We need change. Our region can easily see with our own eyes the gas prices continuously rising, but what we can't see is the impact it's having on drivers, commuters driving from an hour away to work in Spokane.
It sucks.
Some even bringing emotions, almost tears, to their eyes about how these gas prices are hurting their pockets.
I don't drive as much.
It's killing me. I'm a full-time college student. I'm back to work after medical leave at 20 hours a week. It sucks.
Commuters at the pumps are emphasizing that they have no choice but to pay for gas, no matter how much it costs.
I don't know where it's going to end. You know, we don't know where.
I'd like to see the prices come down, that's for sure. I miss it when it was like 2 something a gallon.
I'm also told by people walking around here at the pumps that even their bus tickets are continuing to increase. Reporting in Spokane, Jared Cottingham, NonStop Local.
All right, sending things over to Tori in the Weather Center in for Leslie today. Tori, if you're trying to maybe save on gas and walk in somewhere, at least it's nice out. Trying to find the glass half full here.
Yeah, well, we definitely got, what's that, silver lining? We got the silver lining today. So we have sunshine across the inland northwest. Temperatures currently are into the 70s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. We're seeing very calm winds right now. It's roughly feeling mid-70s outside. As we head towards Tri-Cities as well as Yakima, those temperatures are slightly warmer. We have 80 degrees as of right now in Tri-Cities and 75 towards Yakima. All of us are seeing the sunshine for today. If you head towards the Cascades, there is a couple clouds for today, but we're not expecting many showers out of those. As we head into tomorrow, temperatures are going to warm up across the inland northwest. We're seeing a couple degrees warmer than we even saw for today for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Same trend for Yakima, Tri-Cities, getting into the mid-80s for Tri-Cities by the time we get to 5 p.m. for tomorrow. If you're looking ahead to this weekend, we've got some beautiful weather. If you are in the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area, we're topping out right into the upper 70s. Yakima, Tri-Cities getting actually closer to the upper 80s and low 90s for this weekend. So overall, it is going to be a toasty weekend ahead. We'll have more on your full forecast coming up shortly. Corey, back to you.
Thank you, Tori. And just a few more days until the 50th Bloomsday race. You can see the countdown there ticking closer and closer. 2 days, 16 hours, 21 minutes and 9 seconds. But before you know it, thousands of people will be flooding the streets of downtown Spokane on Sunday to take part in the annual tradition. But AJ, how Here to give us a first look at the elite division of runners. What can we expect? AJ, another year and my name suspiciously absent from the elite runners.
Well, I'll be working on who we can call about that, Corey, because that's a problem we need to get handled. For the past 50 years on the first Sunday of May, we always can count on runners lining the streets, but this year there's some external circumstances that might affect the elite runners. Of course, people from all over the world participate in both the men's and women's elite races and even the wheelchair open division. But prices for everything are going up, and that has caused a giant headache for Bloomsday's elite athlete coordinator, who says this field will not be like any other for a variety of reasons.
If I had to use a word for this year, it's pivot. It has been the most active and changing field I've ever had. In my time doing this, we have had a lot of issues with athletes arriving internationally, both from a visa standpoint and from a cost of flights issue.
Now, I will say, Corey, changes in the lineups for the elite runners, that has been a thing in years past. Yeah. Obviously, just getting everyone in from different places is always difficult, but Andy's done it for quite a while, and as he says, it's going to be different this year, so we'll see.
Well, different, but we'll still have the normies out there running, right?
We got Corey.
Be in the back of the pack. Everyone.
Stop.
All right.
We got to move him up. We need to see what we can do.
Thanks, AJ. Appreciate it. All right, still to come here on NonStop Local at 4. It's the Tori and Corey show today, but it also just happens to be Thursday, so I'm baptizing Tori into the world of Patent Thursday. Stick around for that.
And we're talking about that sunshine. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back. It is a beautiful day with lots and lots of sunshine. Here's a live look over Yakima, Tri-Cities, and Spokane. Seeing those clear skies area-wide. Up north, there is a couple cumulus clouds. That's going to be those fluffy popcorn-looking clouds. That'll make for a great sunset for this evening. Temperatures right now into the mid-70s across the LC Valley. As we head towards Yakima and down towards Hermiston, we're seeing temperatures into the upper 70s, low 80s. It is a hot day. This is well above average, but most of us under those clear skies with weak high pressure ridging going on. Lows tonight are going to drop down into the mid-40s towards Moses Lake, 43 for Pullman, and 42 down south towards Grangeville. We have that weak high pressure ridging starting to move out, and then we have strong high pressure starting to move into the inland northwest. Something interesting here is this is a cool weather setup called a Rex block. Now, all I want you to take away from that is that'll mean we're seeing hot temperatures as well as sunshine through your weekend. High temperatures tomorrow going to be into those mid-70s towards Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, Moses Lake getting closer towards 80. And that trend for warming just continues all the way through this weekend and into your Monday. A lot of us well past 80, even closer towards 90 for Yakima Tri-Cities for Monday. As we head through this weekend, we are going to be staying relatively dry with the exception of a couple mountain showers as a possibility. I'm thinking roughly 10% chance of seeing those showers along the mountain ranges. If you're towards the city, very unlikely that you'll see any type of precipitation. We're seeing the sunshine all the way through Sunday, which is Bloomsday. High is going to be 79 for Spokane. We're seeing that morning low right about 50 degrees, and it's going to be mostly sunny with a light breeze, but it's going to get hot. So here's some of those reminders. Start hydrating now for Bloomsday. You're going to want to drink water consistently through the race, wear light colored clothing, add some sunscreen on there. Something I do want to note out as well is we have a very weak chance of seeing possibly a lightning storm in the evening of Bloomsday, but this is a very, very weak chance. I still want to throw it out there because the atmosphere is slightly unstable as we head into Sunday afternoon. So here's about 2 p.m. Those colors mean that the atmosphere is unstable. We don't have the water vapor for a storm to appear, but we could be seeing a little bit of lightning activity into the evening hours. So do want to throw that out there. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We stay toasty all the way through Monday, Tuesday, and even Wednesday of next week. That's Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Yakima Tri-Cities getting even hotter into the upper 80s, low 90s by the time we get
If you have an idea and you think it'll pay, see if it's been done on Patent Thursday.
Huh?
It's time for Patent Thursday. This is my first Patent Thursday.
It's her first Patent Thursday, everyone. We should have made a certificate. Like,
I know.
You know, when your kid gets their first haircut and they give them a little thing. Tori's first Patent Thursday. Here you go. So here's what we do. We take a look at a bunch of patents that were issued today. We show about 3 of them, and we're going to say, are you in? Do you like it? Are you out?
Okay.
It's pretty simple. But today's patents, they include a wrinkle-proof straw, a method for watching your food intake, and a way to keep snakes away. Let's start with the most important of those, the wrinkle-proof straw. Tori, I don't know about you, but when I'm using a straw, the only thing I'm thinking about is the crinkle and the wrinkle around my mouth when I'm using it. So enter patent 0114647. Tori, tell us about this.
It's called a smile straw, and as you can see by the pictures, the top and bottom portions of the straw are curved to, quote, promote reduced crinkle/wrinkle in the user's upper lip while sipping through the straw.
So the patent provides some shocking examples of the crinkling that we just discussed there. Please turn away from your television if you're sensitive to images like this. But it's important, though. We made an editorial decision to show it. But now the smile straw, you can see, changes the shape of the straw use and finally makes the straw not just functional but enjoyable. So again, Tori, after each patent, we ask the question, are you in as a consumer, an investor, both, or neither? Do you need
as a producer, like putting it out there. Okay. I feel like everyone who's into like Botox and stuff like that, they would like that.
A straw for everyone. There you go. All right, well, let's see. Let's get the next one here.
Okay.
You got it.
We're sticking with the eating theme now. Weight loss pills and shots are at rage now. So But what could be the side effects with pharmaceuticals introducing patent 0120843? Eyewear with eating activated camera for monitoring food consumption.
The titles of these are not they don't roll off the tongue very well. But this is pretty self-explanatory, as many patents are, you'll find. But the idea is that you wear this camera device, which is activated when you start eating, and that records images of the food as it goes down the chow zone.
Ooh,
I think it'd be a fair question to point out right now. Why? Tori, the idea is you record the food you're eating, revisit it to keep better track of what you're eating. More of the good stuff, less of the bad stuff. I do want to point out two things in this patent. This image, one, is horrifying. I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to be depicting here, but this scares me. I saw it. Now you have to see it. And two, this image shows someone eating you got a translucent, frowny-faced gingerbread man there on the left, looking up and then popping up near an audio message on the right-hand side there, whispering in your ear saying, "A lot of fat."
Oh, wow.
Excuse me? You're annoying. That's rude, right?
Yeah,
Rude.
I think so. I mean, what are you? Are you an investor, a consumer, or neither?
I don't need that. I don't need a computer telling me what I can and can't eat.
Yeah.
Finally, one that has less to do with eating and a bit more to do with keeping you safe from snakes. I mean, not a bit. That's what it is. It's patent number 011445556, snake deterrent composition. It's supposed to repel snakes from a person or an area. The company that makes this is not a company at all. It's a guy named Curtis who lives in Olympia, Washington.
So you can probably see the contraption looks like a weed killer, but it's comprised of various natural ingredients that snakes apparently really dislike. The names are here and they're all in Latin form, but we can tell you this includes tobacco, marigolds, and cinnamon.
Everyone knows snakes hate cinnamon. The idea, keep it handy, spray an area, spray your legs, and if a snake gets too close, spray the snake. It's supposedly harmless. Snakes just really don't like it. It'd be like spraying me with DVDs of the 1995 Keanu Reeves movie, Walk in the Clouds. It won't hurt me. I just don't like it, Tori.
Okay, I'm not sure how much I like this. But, you know, I also don't like snakes very much, so I would be probably a consumer on this one.
Okay, there you go. We found one that Tori likes, everyone. It's like, you know, they make mosquito repellent. Now you got snake repellent.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. We found a patent that Tori likes. Hopefully you like them. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. All right, well, graduation season. Is it graduation season?
I think so.
Kind of?
Yeah,
All
almost.
right. One Utah college, this year's ceremony marked a milestone, decades in the making.
3 generations of women from the same family walked across the stage together at Utah Valley's University commencement.
Diana Flygare finally earned her psychology degree after nearly 40 years of taking classes on and off.
Quite honestly, I think I've been trying to get out of here for almost 40 years.
Now you did. Her daughter Melissa and granddaughter Hadley also graduated this year, making it a triple celebration for the family. Utah Valley University says this story stands out among more than 14,000. Wow, 14,000 graduates there.
I love it. That is so precious.
I forgot what time of year it was, I guess. I thought we had a little bit longer, but no,
Yeah.
This is the last day of April, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess all the proms, or some of the proms, have already happened.
It's going by fast this
I
year,
know.
folks. We're already in almost in month 5 now, so enjoy it. Enjoy the last day of April. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Something that can be tragic, like bad news of cancer. Little Cup's big heart has turned it into magic. Yeah.
We want to raise $1 million.
Only on NonStop Local, there is a lemonade stand in Pasco that's taking donations for a very personal cause to the Solano family and so many others just like them. Little Cups, Big Hearts, raising money for pancreatic cancer research. A 7-year-old little girl using her creativity to launch something incredibly special because she loves her dad more than the whole wide world. NonStop Local's Ava Wainhouse introduces us to the Solano family right here on NonStop Local during the 6 p.m. hour, so stay tuned for that. It's a story you're not going to want to miss here in the Tri-Cities market. I believe we're going to have it in Spokane too in the 6:30 hour as well. So
I'm excited to see that story, and I really hope they do raise $1 million.
Get $1 million. Go get some lemonade out there in Pasco, folks. Stay tuned for that story again coming up at 6 o'clock. But for us right here at 4 o'clock, well, Tri-Cities Yakima, that's going to do it. We'll say goodbye. We'll bid you adieu. Tomorrow's Friday. This is Friday Eve. Have a great Friday Eve. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Fun Game Friday, everyone. And then Spokane, we'll see you in just a couple minutes. Straight ahead at 4:30, 6 Idaho residents are suing the state over a new bathroom law that they say it forces them to choose between. Plus, Washington Governor Bob Ferguson violated state law by allowing a former advisor on a state flight, how the ethics board is handling it, and the fine Ferguson will have to pay.
Lots of our students walk to school, so it's a really nice, unique experience for them, and I'm happy about that.
Elementary school boundaries are changing in Spokane Valley with about 100 students impacted. The details behind the redrawing straight ahead as NonStop Local at 4:30 starts right now.
Corey Howard and Leslie Lowe with content that connects our community. You're watching NonStop Local KHQ at 4:30.
And a good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us here at 4:30. We begin with 6 transgender Idaho residents suing the state and federal court, asking a federal judge to declare a strict new bathroom ban unconstitutional. The law goes into effect in July. It is the strictest bathroom ban in the nation, subjecting people to time behind bars if they knowingly enter a bathroom, locker room, or changing area that does not correspond with their sex assigned at birth. Violators could be charged with a misdemeanor and sentenced to a year in jail for a first offense or a felony with up to 5 years in prison for a second offense. The plaintiffs say the law forces them to either stay at home or risk harassment, assault, or arrest when using public restrooms. Supporters of the law say it is needed to protect women and children. Changes to elementary school boundaries will affect about 100 Spokane Valley area students. The Central Valley School District says it's to stabilize enrollment and support appropriate class sizes. McDonald Elementary Principal Scott Krentel estimates that about 30 students will transfer to his school from Opportunity Elementary. He adds that it's not required students shift schools with the changing boundaries.
The district is allowing students, if there is room in their original school, to stay there as a grandfathered clause. And so like, oh, we're in 5th grade, is it okay if we just stay? Yes, absolutely, we have room to do that.
Krentel expects to meet with transferring students next week. It's estimated by the school district that 186 students get to McDonald Elementary by walking. Washington State Governor Bob Ferguson has admitted to violating state ethics law and agreed to a $4,000 fine. Governor Ferguson allowed a former top advisor to travel with him on a state plane to the Tri-Cities last summer. Under an agreement signed by Ferguson and the Executive Ethics Board Director, the governor would pay half the fine. According to the Seattle Times, the rest of the fine will be suspended if there are no new violations for 2 years. The board will review the agreement at its May 8th meeting. Ferguson had previously asked the Ethics Board to reject the complaint. He argued the trip didn't cost taxpayers anything extra. The board's investigation rejected that reasoning, finding Ferguson had illegally provided a special benefit to his advisor. The Forest Service has completed the Pritchard Blowdown project to address winter storm damage near Pritchard, Idaho. Crews salvaged trees damaged by a severe wind across 28 acres on the Coeur d'Alene River Ranger District. The Forest Service says removing downed and hazardous timber will reduce wildfire risks next to private land, recover economic value, and help limit insect and disease issues. And following December's flooding and windstorm, a disaster assistance team will be in Leavenworth for 2 weeks in May to help impacted residents. A disaster assistance center will be open at the Leavenworth Chamber of Commerce at 645 Front Street. The center will operate from 12:30 to 6 p.m. on weekdays, May 11th through the 15th, and then on May 18th through the 22nd. FEMA and state emergency management staff will be available to help with applications, and the deadline to apply is June 10th. All right, well, on this Thursday afternoon, let's send things over to Tori Smith in the Weather Center for a look at how things are shaping up maybe for the weekend.
Yeah, and Bloomsday is this weekend as well. So we have some beautiful temperatures and beautiful skies to talk about. As of right now, it's feeling toasty outside, still into the 70s. Here's 70 in Spokane. Very calm winds at this time as well, only gusting up to about 10 miles per hour area-wide. 70 towards Coeur d'Alene, feeling roughly 75 with those calm winds. We have clear skies across the inland northwest. However, if you're towards the north, that goes for Colville, Chewelah, and into the mountain ranges, you could be seeing a couple of those cumulus clouds in place. That's those fluffy clouds that'll make for beautiful sunset photos for tonight. Highs tomorrow are going to be slightly warmer than they were today, topping out into the mid-70s here in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Going to be warmer towards Colville, Chewelah, and Ione. Okay, here's a look at the across the region forecast until Monday. We're seeing a warming trend continuously developing, getting us closer to the 80s, even low 90s by the time we get to Monday. We are still monitoring a severe drought for portions of Potlatch down to Orofino and even up towards Coeur d'Alene. So we do need the rain. However, that is not in our future as of right now. We'll keep you posted with the latest forecast. As for now, here's Corey.
Thanks, Tori. And yeah, just a few more days until the 50th Bloomsday race. Let's check in. It's been about a half an hour since we've done that. 2 days, 15 hours, 54 minutes, and 9 seconds. There you go. We're getting closer and closer, everyone. But before the big race kicks off, the Bloomsday Trade Show is happening Friday and Saturday at the Convention Center, and that is where NonStop Local's Heidi Miley joins us this afternoon. Heidi, what is that, chicken legs behind you? What do you got going on down there?
Right, I thought it was chicken sticks. They said, no, it's the chicken legs right here. I'm going to show you the shorts here. But look, already I'm trying on a cool jacket. They've let me try this on. I picked it because it's kind of a lilac color. I love this hat, Corey, because look, it's sort of like a ball cap type deal in the back. But I don't know if like a fisherman cap, if you ask me what kind of cap that is. You can get this here at the trade show. And I looked at the sunglass stand, and they picked about 5 out for me. I like these. Because they're telling me to talk into the microphone in my fashion show. I better do that, right? They kind of look like skiers' glasses to me. But here at all the shorts you could get, this one's my favorite. Look at these pickles. Is that crazy? I love that one. They're telling me that some silly goose ones, some flamingo ones are really popular. If you ask me, I think you want to run down Riverside in those pickles. I'm not going to model that one, but hey, I will model some cool backpacks. And if you don't want a backpack with all these colors, they have a fanny pack. And I don't know if you young people know what a fanny pack is, but a lot of us have had those in our lives. So you could get a cool backpack like this. We saw a area here where you can get a cool massage. But really, I think a lot of people come here to get the bargains on the shoes. And Micah is here with us with Fleet Feet. Am I right? It's the bargains on the running shoes that everybody is after.
Absolutely. There's a lot of trade show deals going on here, and we've come with almost all of our vendors that we have available in store, and they're here ready to talk to you and show you the great deals they have.
I thought this was about the latest and greatest, but it's fun to hear that it's also about the big yearly sale here.
Totally, yeah. So you're going to find some product that's brand new, product that's just coming out in the next couple months. Vendors try really hard to get pre-release product here to show you, but there's also late model product as well that's going to be on great deals too.
And how is the crowd? When the crowd rushes in the morning, how are these people? What are their spirits like?
Oh my gosh. Well, in years past, everyone has been so excited, right? About heading out to the race and, of course, the great weather that we're going to have, too. But this year, I just imagine that feeling will be more than ever, being that it's the 50th. So, man, are we excited to welcome so many runners into the convention center here.
Okay, and I have to get going, but what is the time that people can come to this?
Yeah, so starting tomorrow, it's 11:30 to 7. For the trade show hours, and then on Saturday as well.
Okay, Mike, all right, thank you so much. Yeah, and that is here at the Convention Center in downtown. So, Corey, I'll keep trying some stuff on, maybe bring something back, but for right now, I'm Heidi Miley in Spokane, NonStop Local.
Heidi Miley in incognito mode there. Thank you very much, Heidi. Appreciate it. All right, Gonzaga's schedule already taking shape. The program announcing Duke as the latest addition to the slate. The teams face off in a late non-conference matchup on February 20th in Detroit. The game will be broadcast on Amazon Prime Video. There's a tentative early look here at Gonzaga's non-conference schedule so far. The Zags open the season against Purdue in Las Vegas. They will return to the Sin City for the Players Era Festival, big-time tournament during Thanksgiving week. As you can see, the dates of most of the matchups have yet to be announced. So coming on NonStop Local at 4:30. Another episode of Hey, It's a peacock on a free walk. This one coming to us from the state of Idaho. But before that, we told you about the statue removal yesterday in downtown Spokane. So I was thinking here, if there's an opening for a new statue to be placed there, I have some suggestions. We'll talk about that. But the whole idea comes from viewer Brian, who messaged me yesterday and said in so many words, if you're putting up a statue to honor someone in Spokane, who is it? And that sounds like a question of the day. So yes, it is. Go to khq.com/vote to tell us which statue you might want to put up in downtown Spokane. Bing Crosby running away with this thing here. If you got another one, let me know on my social media channels there. Again, you can go to khq.com/vote, scan the QR code, or my social media, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and then Tori's got a full weather forecast for you right after this. All right, taking a live look at Riverfront Park. A new shuttle service launches tomorrow, providing loop service and narrated historic tours through the park.
The electric carts will offer a hop-on, hop-off access at 7 stops with rides available for $3 or an all-day pass for $8.
Right. Also coming to Spokane, Spokane Skyline Zip Line will be open in late summer or fall.
I'm excited. The zip line boards from the Place of Truth Plaza behind the City Hall and runs west along the south side of the Spokane River, banks under the southern main arch of the Monroe Street Bridge. It ends at Rebrand Park within Peaceful Valley. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, late summer, early fall, I guess. That'll be fun to give a shot when they open that thing up. But you know, right now we're just kind of focused on this weekend in Bloomsday and how everything's shaping up there. But it sounds like maybe even bring your sunblock.
Yeah, bring the sunblock, bring the water especially, because it is going to be well above average across the inland Northwest. Temperatures right now are already above average. They're going to be into the 70s, and that's for Spokane, Coeur d'Alene. If you're heading anywhere off towards the west for today, it is going to be hot. Areas are still seeing 80s across Tri-Cities into Moses Lake. We've got clear skies across the inland Northwest. With the exception of the Cascades, they are starting to see some cloud coverage, but that's not going to make it to us here in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Lows tonight are going to be into the mid-40s. We're seeing about 45 for Moses Lake and 44 as you head off further towards the west. Mid-70s is what we're expecting for the central highs tomorrow across the metro area. 73 for Spokane Valley, 74 degrees in Cheney. As we get towards those northern counties, going to be even warmer as we have high pressure ridging across the area. Here's a look right at about Friday. You can see that high pressure ridging. This is bringing that sunshine, but this will start to break down as we have low pressure developing off the coast. Lucky for us, just in time for Bloomsday, this low pressure moves further down towards the south, and we welcome some strong high pressure in that will help keep the skies clear as we head into your weekend. With that, we get the warmer temperatures getting close to those 80s by the time we get to Sunday. By the time we're into the Monday, we're already into the 80s. That should be our first 80 degree of the 2026 year so far. 79 is going to be your high for Sunday. That is Bloomsday. And with it being so warm and close to record warm temperatures for this time of year, you're going to want to stay hydrated. You can even start hydrating now for the big event. Drink water consistently during the race. Wear some light colored clothing, bring the sunscreen, as well as watch for those warning heat risk signs. That includes headache, nausea, anything like that. You're going to want to slow down and find an aid station during Bloomsday. Highs in the northern area tomorrow, going to be into those upper 70s. We're talking about Colville, Chewelah, seeing roughly 77 degrees for tomorrow. Something I do want to note really quick about Bloomsday is we have some weak instability in the atmosphere. That's what you just saw with some of those colors there. So we don't have the moisture present with this system, which is good news for Bloomsday. That means no thunderstorms or rain showers are expected. But what I am thinking is if it was happening, maybe a 10% chance of a light show Sunday evening. Highs are going to remain pretty hot for this time of year, closer to 15 degrees above average by the time we get to Monday. Again, Monday, very likely our first 80-degree day of the year so far. We'll be right back with more news after the break.
All right, as we've been showcasing here for the past few weeks, viewer questions of the day. This one today comes from our viewer Brian, who saw our story yesterday about the Monahan statue in downtown Spokane being relocated after standing there for 120 years. I took this picture of it today. It's gone. Now, I don't want to spend time rehashing the whys of the story. It's on our website, and only to take away from the next point we're trying to make here, which is what's going to be done with that empty space now? Will it sit empty? Will some sort of chicken restaurant pop up in its place? Those are popular these days. Or will another statue be put up there? So, Tori, I thought I'd throw out a few suggestions for if another statue were to be put up there. What would that statue be? You obviously want it to be Spokane-centric, so tell me what you think of these, all right? How about Craig T. Nelson, coach, Poltergeist, The Incredibles. He's the dad on The Incredibles. Are you familiar?
Oh, I know this one.
Okay.
Yes. I think that would be cool. That's my top choice so far.
All right,
Let's
well, it's the
keep
first
going.
one. Let me throw out some other ones. How about Keyboard Cat? Are you familiar with Keyboard Cat?
No, I don't know this one.
One of the internet's original memes created by Spokane's Charlie Schmidt. And you might think, well, why not a statue of Schmidt? And I'd say, I'm sure even Charlie would agree, it should be the cat.
I think a lot of people would agree it should be a cat,
Keyboard
right?
cat
Over
there.
a person.
What about Michael Winslow from Police Academy? The man of 10,000 sound effects. Could be an interactive statue where you push a button and then the statue makes noises recorded by Winslow. Do you like it?
This one I think is cool. I just don't know who this person is.
He's from Spokane.
Okay.
Police Academy. Lots of sounds, but all great choices, right? But I think we're missing the obvious one here, and that, of course, is RoboCop.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with Spokane, but Detroit put one up. It's awesome, so now I want one too. Or if you insist on a Spokane icon, I don't think there's a better choice than Ribby, the red band trout.
Okay.
He's only 9 years old, but I think he deserves immortality in statue form. You familiar with Ribby?
No, I'm not, but I like how this statue looks. I think it's fun.
He's the greatest mascot in the world.
Okay, I think like a mascot or maybe a cat. I like the cat one too.
Okay.
Or the Incredibles dad.
The Incredibles dad. Look at how good that looks, everyone. Just a few suggestions from me. Take them with a giant grain of salt. But we thought we'd put our Brian's question, rather, to you in our question of the day. If you're putting up a statue to honor someone in Spokane, who is it? And, okay, Bing Crosby is winning right now with 53% of the vote. John Stockton, basketball player?
Basketball player?
Yeah.
Okay.
Miles Kennedy, he's a musician.
Okay. I see a lot of others on there. I'm wondering what are people thinking?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked. Let's see a couple of the things here. Tabitha said, how about just the marmot statue?
The marmot. Oh,
just
wait,
a giant marmot.
Is that the big, like, squirrels that are here?
Yeah, little
yeah,
marmots, little groundhogs.
I love it.
Rose said Steve Perry of Journey.
Okay.
Nothing to do with Spokane, but I love him. Or I think Don Cardong is probably a good one, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the Journey one, too. But
well, Don's certainly deserving. And, of course, we all run by that for Bloomsday. And then Pat said, we have some fun with this, but this is probably a serious contender here as well. Chief Spokane Gary. That'd be a good one to put up there, too. So, again, don't know what's going to be done with the thing, what's going to be done with that area, but there's an idea.
Yeah.
Just a thought. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this. All right, everyone. Time for another peacock on a free walk. A peacock named Ivan has become an unlikely celebrity in Emmett, Idaho, bringing neighbors together through his colorful adventures.
All right. Ivan first joined the Bowe family as a young bird, but it didn't take him long to make an impression around town. From walking downtown to popping into yards, Ivan's daily escapes have turned him into a local favorite and even inspired art and poetry.
Looking for a wife for Ivan, so if anybody's got anything for this beautiful peacock, he is single and ready to mingle.
That's the story here. That's what we should be talking about, but we don't have time to dive into a single peacock here. But the family says Ivan's presence has led to new friendships and unexpected connections as neighbors come together to share stories and even gifts inspired by the feathered fugitive.
That's cute.
You don't like snakes, you like peacocks?
Yeah, I do. They're cute. They've got the pretty feathers.
Indeed.
So.
All right, well, someone find Ivan a wife, I guess. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this. All right, well, being April 30th, today was the final day of the annual Bites and Books food drive benefiting Second Harvest.
This food drive helps us combat food insecurity in a region where 1 in 5 children don't know where their next meal is going to come from.
So we want to just take this moment to thank everyone who helped support this important food drive. We really appreciate it. In the meantime, you were saying a couple statue ideas. Our director Max saying turkeys. You were saying Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he's from Coeur d'Alene, or he lives in Coeur d'Alene, I think.
He's got a house over there, I guess. I don't know. Hey, NonStop Local at 5 is going to start in 90 seconds. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sean Owsley and Leslie Lowe with content connecting our community. You're watching NonStop Local KHQ at 5.
And good evening. Welcome to NonStop Local KHQ at 5. I'm Sean Owsley. New at 5 tonight, Thurston County Superior Court judge partially blocking Washington State's new law enforcement standards bill just one day before it was set to go into effect. NonStop Local KHQ's Bradley Warren with the pulse on this. And Bradley, this is a response to a lawsuit that came from law enforcement leaders here in our area.
The lawsuit was filed by sheriffs from Spokane, Pend Oreille, Stevens, and Ferry counties, each of them voicing concerns, especially on what they perceived was a law that took power away from you, the voter. Here's a breakdown of what the judge ruled. The preliminary decision blocks these elements of SB 5974, new equal standards for county sheriffs and police chiefs. If you fail to meet those new requirements or you get a state certification revoked, that's ground for removal from the position. The bill also set requirements, with the biggest pain point being that you have to have 5 years of uninterrupted law enforcement service, which would disqualify anyone who left temporarily and came back. Other requirements include continuing training for new and veteran officers. Now, the state auditor's office, they did an audit, and what they found is that law enforcement members are already behind in compliance to the tune of 14% of new officers and 16% of veteran officers when it comes to getting that training completed. The audit, though, also laid out what the barriers could be in preventing this from being fulfilled, including a lack of enforcement authority to encourage officer participation and police agencies facing challenges when it comes to scheduling in-person courses. Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles also spoke out specifically that he believes that this bill takes power away from voters and does not consult them when it comes to removing an officer they elected. We were the only station to speak to him today on this topic.
What this legislation also changed is the CJTC doesn't have the authority to fire any peace officer anywhere in this state. They only have the authority to revoke their peace officer certification. So this legislation would have treated elected sheriffs differently and chiefs differently by giving the CJTC the authority to actually fire the head of an agency. And they don't have the authority to fire anybody else in the state.
Sheriff Knowles also spoke to us about how important the ruling was when looking forward to their continued legal fight against legislatures.
It's a temporary injunction. There will be far more legal processes and challenges from the state's side and perspective, and we will continue through this process of making our arguments about the entirety and all of the constitutional issues in that legislation going forward.
The sheriff also emphasized that in the state constitution right now, the only way to remove a law enforcement leader is through a recall. With that all being said, we did reach out to proponents of the bill, but we've not heard back from anyone as we are on air right now. When we receive those statements, we're going to let you know through our website, nonstoplocal.com, and our app. But for now, from the Pulse Studios, I'm Bradley Warren, Nonstop Local.
Bradley, thank you. We did receive a response just now from a spokesperson for State Senator Lovick, a sponsor of the bill, which says the senator does not comment on ongoing litigation.
Certainly not something we expect on a Thursday morning at 9 a.m. on the South Hill.
One man confirmed dead, another man detained. A shooting this morning on the South Hill, that's according to the Spokane Police Department. For a time, they blocked off 33rd between Arthur and Grand for really a good portion of the day today as they investigated. Leadership for retired police and firefighters, meantime, in Washington State are taking a closer look at making good on threats made during the legislative session. More on that. First, back to that shooting on the South Hill.
Yeah, Major Crimes has had control of this scene since late in the morning, but within the last few hours, those evidence markers that were down for large parts of the day being picked up by that forensics team who has slowly started to clear out the crime scene. The Spokane Police Department says the initial call came in reporting a shooting around 8:46 this morning. Neighbors say the house where the shooting happened currently being rented by some folks newer to the neighborhood. We watched as detectives have gone door knocking, looking for footage of the shooting or involved parties. I spoke with some neighbors who handed over dash cam footage to law enforcement. They tell me police were interested in a truck they caught on video. Hear from one neighbor who talked about how disturbing it was that this scene was so close to his home.
I mean, that's 6 houses down from my house, so it definitely makes me uneasy. You know, thankful that nobody else was injured and affected by this. I'm sorry for the loss of the individual that didn't make it. But yeah, it's makes you think. Lock the doors. Make sure everything's tied up tight. Yeah, it's a little uneasy for sure.
And I'm continuing to track this story and this investigation. Still many questions unanswered. We've asked questions about the victim, about if there is any potential relationship between the victim and the person who police have detained, and if that person has been arrested or is going to be arrested. We don't have answers to those questions just yet, but as we do, we will make it known. In Spokane, I'm Noah Bolter, NonStop Local.
Now to the other story I was telling you about. Leadership for retired police and firefighters here in Washington State making good on threats made during the legislative session. Today, a class action lawsuit filed claiming a recently passed state law puts billions in retiree benefits at risk for those entitled to them. The plaintiffs say that law could increase the risk of future state payments and reduce protection for retirees. The law calls for the excess funds within law enforcement officers and firefighters Retirement System Plan 1 to be transferred to the general fund. Plaintiffs are asking the court to block the fund transfer and declare the law unconstitutional. And we're following some breaking news from the west side of the state out of Tacoma. Tacoma law enforcement say 5 people have been hospitalized after a report of multiple stabbings at Foss High School. 4 of those victims are students, 1 security guard. Tacoma Fire and Police say they responded to reports of an altercation at the school at about 1:40 this afternoon. Tacoma Police say they cannot confirm the events that led up to the situation at this time. One police officer says, as a mom, she knows it can be terrifying when these things occur, but thankfully they were able to respond and locate the individual quickly.
I mean, for any large location, whether they're students and or at a large business, right? There's a way that we respond, there's a way that we communicate, there's a way that we isolate, put information out, make sure that families know where to go if they have loved ones there. So it's a pretty, routine isn't a great word to use, but it's a response that is practiced by law enforcement. It's practiced by your schools. And that's what we showed today, was that practice for incidents like this.
Firefighters found 4 students and a security guard injured and took them to the local hospitals. Police said the suspect, also a student, was taken into custody and transported to a hospital. All right, well, what a fantastic day out there. Tori's in for Leslie tonight in the Weather Center, and nothing but sunshine and nice temperatures. Well done.
I'm enjoying it. I mean,
you built it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm hoping I brought some sunshine to the 5 p.m. forecast. So we've got temperatures in the 70s right now. It's feeling pleasant outside across Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Those temperatures currently sitting into the 70s, but feeling a little bit warmer than that. That's because that wind is very calm. So when you sit outside, you just feel it on your skin. It feels nice, but make sure to wear some sunscreen through this weekend because temperatures are getting warmer from here. And with that comes the UV as well. Clearing skies across the inland northwest. As we head into your Friday, we have highs into the mid-70s across Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Slightly warmer from some of our northern counties as well. This trend carries all the way through your Monday. We're expecting our first 80-degree day of the year so far by the time we get to Monday. That goes for Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, Moses Lake, and Colville. We are still in a severe drought for portions of Idaho and even down towards Pullman, the LC Valley. We don't have any rain in our forecast. We are continuously tracking the sky, but as for now, we have that warming trend really starting to develop with high pressure ridging, and we'll talk about Bloomsday coming up shortly and what you can expect there as well. So we'll have more on weather shortly. Here's Sean.
All right, thanks very much, Tori. Tracking gas prices in our region right now, with Washington State hitting a new record high this morning, $5.57 a gallon, 2 cents higher than the previous record set in 2022. NonStop Local KHQ's Jared Cottingham tracking this story, spoke with drivers about the impact on them.
As gas prices continue to rise, commuters at the pump are telling me they're seriously considering getting a bike or even walking to work to help save their pockets. And here at the Maverick on North Division, gas is switching between $5.09 to $5.19 a gallon. That's for regular gas. To save money at the pump, your cell phone, it can be a powerful tool. Here are a couple of apps you can use. The first is the Gas Buddy app. When you put in your location, it has a map of all the gas prices near your location and the brands of gasoline being sold at those locations. A second way to save money is to join loyalty programs through grocery stores and gas stations. If you're a Walmart Plus member, you can save 10 cents a gallon at ExxonMobil and Walmart gas stations across the country.
With how gas prices have been lately, it's just obviously not great.
Also, Nom Nom gas stations have a loyalty program. If you sign up online, you can save 15 cents a gallon each time you fill up by putting in your phone number at the pump.
I have to fill up between week and a half every 2 weeks, and it's almost $90 a tank. So it's like, that's not fun.
And finally, if you don't want to mess with technology, pay with cash. Many stations offer discounts when you pay with cash. Reporting in Spokane, J.R. Cottingham, NonStop Local.
Changes to elementary school boundaries will affect about 100 Spokane Valley area students. NonStop Local KHQ's Melinda Lee shares why the Central Valley School District is shifting students around and one school's reaction.
Yes, I'm holding the proposed elementary boundary change created by the Central Valley School District, and with that change in the upcoming school year, some students at Opportunity Elementary behind me would transfer to McDonald Elementary. So I just spoke with the McDonald Elementary principal, who's excited to welcome those new students.
These kids live just right down the road from us. They're able to walk to our school. What I felt when I heard about it was excitement.
Principal Scott Krentel anticipates about 30 students from Opportunity Elementary will transfer to McDonald Elementary in the coming school year, but also says the Central Valley School District changing its boundaries does not mean a child has to change schools.
The district is allowing students, if there is room in their original school, to stay there as a grandfathered clause. And so like, oh, we're in 5th grade, is it okay if we just stay? Yes, absolutely, we have room to do that.
About 100 students at Opportunity will be directed to neighboring schools as the district aims to stabilize enrollment and support class sizes being more consistent across Spokane Valley schools.
Just to know that the school district and the people that are there are moms and dads and have kids as well, and they understand how hard transitions like this can be, but that we're really doing everything that we can and making sure that we're making the correct moves for the kids.
After the City Council approving the new boundaries this week, Krentel expects to meet his new students face-to-face as early as next week.
So we are excited to kind of welcome them home.
Reporting in Spokane Valley, Melinda Lee, NonStop Local.
Now, students can stick to their original school until they reach middle school. It's important to note, though, the school district will not provide busing for these students who don't shift schools within that boundary change. New information tonight on the deputy shot Tuesday morning during a standoff in Stevens County. The Stevens County Sheriff's Office sharing this update that many of you have been asking for. The deputy was released from the hospital. Good news today, and was escorted home where he will recover from his wounds, a shot to the chest and a shot to the shoulder, and surgery. He'll be recovering with his family. That is great to hear and share with all of you. Still to come here tonight at 5, we're looking ahead to Bloomsday this weekend. STVX's AJ Howe. Well, she'll be live in studio. She'll have a first look at the elite division of runners and their preparation for race day.
And I'm tracking the warmer weather across the inland northwest with clearing skies all the way through Bloomsday. We'll have your full forecast and more news after the break.
Tonight, the shocking moment, a house in Queens explodes, sending police officers at the door flying. What happened? Plus our series, The Cost of Denial, one woman's fight with her insurance company for a surgery to fix a hole in her heart. When we join you in the West for Nightly News.
And we are counting down, the final countdown, if you will, the 50th running of Bloomsday, 2 days, 15 hours, 14 minutes, even. Until race day and our race day coverage. And we have big coverage like we do each and every year. Before you know it, thousands of people will flood the streets of Spokane early Sunday morning, take part in the annual tradition that started way back in the 70s. But AJ Howell is here to give us a first look at the lead division of runners and what we can expect. Hi AJ, good to see you. It's going to be fun.
I'm excited, Sean. You excited?
Bloomsday, I've always said, is when everybody's in a good mood, especially if we have good weather, which we do. What's not to like?
Agreed. We should have some really good races as well, especially since there are no elite winners back to defend their title at this moment. And that's huge for any racers who have experience running on the Bloomsday course. The 7-mile course always gives runners and wheelchair racers a challenge at different points. Bloomsday's wheelchair coordinator David Gregg says the veterans will have a distinct advantage.
Especially with this course. This course is known internationally as a roller coaster. Very hard wheelchair course, very hard runner course. Good speeds, lots of excitement with the turns, and then the grind of Doomsday Hill. So it's advantageous. Yeah, a lot of them love to come back just for the challenge.
Of course, Sean, you know, we have some exciting things in the works for our coverage this year, kind of diving into what the course is and all the challenges that it brings. You think you know it, but every year it just seems like challenge after challenge presents itself.
Well, it's unscripted. That's what makes it so fun to watch, and you can have somebody come up out of nowhere. That's usually one of the elite athletes, but I mean, you know, we get those photo finishes at the end, and you guys are on the truck calling the race live during our coverage. So much fun.
So much fun.
What's your favorite part?
I think just that last coming down Monroe. I mean, just the excitement, hearing it from the fans, and then the truck really makes a last-minute turn. Got to pay attention there as you're trying to see who's crossing the line. It's just a rush of emotions.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, AJ. Appreciate it. We'll see you on Sunday.
See you there.
Might see you before then.
Maybe.
In the newsroom.
Maybe at 6 or maybe in a few minutes.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you again at 6. So you heard her there. All right. Let's check in with Tori now, in for Leslie, and a live look for you. River's showing off, bridge is showing off, and Tori's forecast looks pretty spectacular.
I know, especially for this Bloomsday. We are seeing those temperatures into the upper 70s for your Sunday. Mostly sunny skies. I do want to point out that there are a couple of minor heat risks for Sunday and even into your early week. So if you are running Bloomsday, here's a couple of notes that you're going to want to take part of. Slow your pace early if you start to notice that you're breathing heavy or anything like that. You're going to want to slow that pace and don't skip aid stations. Light colored clothing is recommended along with sunscreen, and make sure to start hydrating now for the event. It's best to hydrate 2 to even 3 days before you run a big event like that. Temperatures right now are into the mid-70s. It is a toasty Thursday. We're still into the 70s. Deer Park, Coeur d'Alene, Spokane, 72 for Kettle Falls, and 75 for Omak. We're getting close to the 80s near the Tri-Cities. Cloud coverage starts to build up right before the Cascades, and then you can see that line just starting to break. So those clouds not quite making it over the Cascades. We're experiencing sunshine here in the inland to northwest, and temperatures overnight going to get into the mid-40s area-wide. By the time we get to tomorrow, things are going to start to warm up even more than they have been. We're seeing the weak high-pressure ridging. That means mid-70s for your day tomorrow for the central inland northwest. That goes for Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and even into Deer Park. We have weak high-pressure ridging that's causing some of these warm temperatures through your Friday, but the big picture through this weekend is we have high pressure, strong high pressure at that, starting to move in to the Pacific Northwest and also just off the coast of Canada. The low pressure stays down towards the coast of California, and this is a fun setup. It's actually called a Rex block, but all I want you guys to take away from that is that means warmer temperatures and sunshine for us here in Spokane by the time we get to Monday. Sunday and Monday going to be very abnormally hot days. That's roughly even 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of year. As for tomorrow, some of those northern counties experiencing highs into the mid-70s to upper 70s. Something I do want to point out as we're getting closer to this weekend is we do have a little bit of instability in our atmosphere. Here's a look at the greens and blues that you see on there. That's the level of about storm feel that we're seeing. However, we don't have any moisture in our atmosphere to support any of these thunderstorms. I do want to throw it out there that a couple years ago we did see a setup similar to this and ended up seeing some lightning strikes Not quite the rainfall event, but more lightning. So that's heading into Sunday. If we did see a lightning show, that would end up being Sunday evening into Sunday late night. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, going to stay very hot with that high pressure ridging. That goes for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, all the way across the inland northwest. Temperatures slowly return to average by the time we get closer to Thursday. We'll be right back after the break with more news and weather.
Live from the Northern Quest Sports Studio. This is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
First, we got exciting recruitment news for the Zags this week. Now it's a schedule announcement, one that's been fun to watch in recent history. The Zags are matching up with the Blue Devils, that's right, Duke. The game will be in Detroit, however, on February 20th. This matchup has been close the last two times, by 3 points in 2021 and by 2 in 2018, Duke winning both of those matchups. The Zags played at Little Caesars Arena previously back in 2024 in the Sweet 16, falling short to Purdue. Back to this coming season, but speaking of Purdue, the Zags versus Boilermakers set for November 2nd, plus many other exciting non-conference games to look forward to, like Michigan State, Kentucky, Creighton, plus the Players Era Festival in Las Vegas. Of course, we'll have you covered the whole way. The fall looks promising. Basketball, football. We have spring football right now and 2 spring games Friday. We'll get to see who shows out in Cheney on Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock for the annual red-white game, and the Idaho Vandals in the Kibbe Dome at 6 p.m. We'll have coverage both here on NonStop Local KHQ and our website, SWXLocalsports.com. We've had a lot of fun with spring football so far, Sean, but time to wrap it up for the year.
It is time to wrap it up, but it'll be fall before we know it.
That's true.
Leslie and I were talking earlier this week. It's like, it's May.
I know.
Didn't we just have New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, I'm sorry to bring everybody down. Yeah.
What a bummer. I don't know where the time went.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Like I think it was just New Year's Eve.
Right, it was.
It was 2025.
I know. Right.
Still writing the wrong date.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get it together for 6 o'clock.
We'll try.
We will. No guarantees.
No promises.
See you then.
Mostly clear skies across the inland northwest for your Thursday. We do have a couple clouds along the Cascade Mountain Range, but those aren't going to quite make it over to us through the rest of this evening. Temperatures tonight are going to be nice and cool into the mid-40s. We're seeing that towards Spokane, Moses Lake, over to Yakima. Most of us sitting in the mid-40s area wide. We have weak high pressure ridging as of right now that kept the sunshine all the way through Friday. However, looking forward, that's going to start to break down, and we're going to start to welcome some strong high pressure ridging moving into the inland northwest. You can see that low down towards the coast of California. This is actually an interesting setup called a Rex block. Now, all I want you to take away from that is what that means for us is warmer temperatures and clear skies as we head through the rest of this weekend. Temperatures tomorrow, highs are going to be slightly above average into the mid-70s. We have mid-70s for Spokane, Coeur d'Alene. We're reaching the 80s for Moses Lake into the Yakima area, and even 83 down towards Hermiston. It's going to be well above average by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. It's just getting warmer from here. Here's a look at Sunday. Most of us into the 80s by Sunday, and a lot of us into the Moses Lake area, even seeing closer to about 85, even 90 degrees is possible. We are heading into this weekend. It is Bloomsday. High is going to be 79 towards Spokane, and we're expecting a light breeze, mostly sunny skies, no rainfall, and it's going to be extremely toasty when you're running. This is well above average for this time of year.